The views expressed in the interviews and commentary are solely those of the individuals providing them and do not reflect the opinions of PPS Holdings Trust, its affiliates, subsidiaries, or employees. Okay, hello. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank
I see
you.
we have some new faces here. Hi, Simpiwe.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Okay. I'm fine. Hi, Isaac.
Hello there.
How are you? You're
All good.
okay. Okay, we're not usually this disorganized, I promise. We're just going through a lot. Okay. So before we started, I gave everybody a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
You did?
We're gonna play. Okay.
Hmm.
So how the game works, I hope you remember, is everybody has the same word on the paper except one person, and then we're going to guess who the one person is who has the wrong word
Makes sense.
through the clues that you guys are gonna give them.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Tepo, let's see. Give us a clue about the word on your paper.
Oh, when you said let's see, I thought you wanted me to show you the
So
word.
everybody look at your paper. Don't show anyone else.
Wealthy.
Lots of money.
Okay.
I have become half of them.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to say 6.
Okay.
Financially secured.
Okay.
Another round.
One more round.
This is me, nah?
Yeah.
This is me.
Yeah. Okay. Simpiwe.
Think of the lotto, the lottery.
Okay. Devza.
Not popular,
Hmm.
but accessible.
Okay.
If you didn't put that last bit on, I thought you were maybe.
Okay. Theo.
I would say enough.
Okay. Isaac.
I think zeros, zeros.
Zeros. Okay, so let's guess. Who do you guys think the imposter is?
Should we point or do we?
You can.
I saw
we
the
can
way
discuss first. We
I
can
saw the way Theo looked at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's you.
Oh no. Really?
From Theo's first clue, I suspect it's you.
I also suspect as you, eh?
I think mine sucks answer on the same genre for the first clue.
Not genre.
I definitely know that myself and CP on the same wave. and Isaac's zeros there.
Yeah. I mean, Isaac's first answer scared me. I don't want to lie.
What was
I
his
like-
first clue?
I got the second one, zeros. What was the first one again?
I'm now half of it. Half of.
Oh
I'm
yes, you're
half
half
of them.
Of
Yeah,
them.
that was also very confusing. to me.
Yeah, I think Isaac is the imposter.
That was very confusing.
I think so.
now that he has
Which come
that
actually
clue
again?
again,
Them.
he's the imposter.
Yeah.
Remember, the clues are generally like close to each other, like the concept. The imposters one is like just a little bit off.
Oh,
This one is a bit.
I think it's them.
Okay, so everybody reveal your word. Let's start with Simpiwe. What's your word?
By the way, my guess is some P-word.
Why? You just have a feeling?
I just have a feeling. Yeah.
Okay, what's your word?
Millionaire.
I'm wrong.
Oh.
I think it's Theo. I still
No.
think it's Theo.
I also got millionaire.
no.
How many zeros is a millionaire?
Did everybody get
Six,
millionaire?
yeah.
Millionaire.
One and
I knew it.
Everyone
When you said
millionaire.
Did
6
everyone get
zeros.
millionaire?
I think it's the other one we took
So
out.
there is no imposter. Oh wow.
The imposter left the group. The imposter is the one that left the group. Anyway, okay, well, welcome everybody. That was an interesting game. The imposter's word was actually businessman, right? So it was
Oh, okay.
millionaire and businessman.
Okay.
But so that was a way that we want to start the conversation about our financial results this year. Yay! So, I always ask this question. Actually, last month we were sitting with Masinyani and Ayanda and I was asking them, why do we have to have these financial results like every single year? And why is it important to me, right? So I want to start this question off and ask you, Dibza, what do you think?
I think it's important for me, from looking at companies when they release financial results, as a young person who's want to grow my career, it's important to find out that the organization I work for is performing well. Because if we all know that once we see a company that's not performing well, we start worrying about our jobs, worrying about security. So for me, that's most important. But also as somebody who's a member of an organization, I want to know that where my money's going, it is secure, it is stable. I mustn't worry about where am I taking my money. Yeah.
How does that correlate to like your day-to-day life and what you do? Let me ask you simply.
Oh,
How does
wow.
that correlate with how you do your, let's say, your own reports? Not necessarily financial reports, but just your own reports for yourself.
Yeah, look, I think to Debsa's point, when we prepare the financial results, we want to make sure that they're understandable for everybody. And there's a lot of people who use them. We also want to make sure that they're accurate.
Yeah.
So we don't want to give you the wrong numbers. They get audited, so that helps. But yes, it's important for us to give a view to all our stakeholders. You are one of them as a member, as an employee, and there are many others, how the business is doing. So I've always got all our stakeholders in mind when I am doing my job, and whether or not I'm doing right by them. So that's how it lives in my day-to-day life.
Interesting. Yeah.
You?
When you say day to day, like how does it influence me?
Yeah, like why is it important to you? And what are financial results? What does taking financial results look like for you as an individual, outside of the business?
Yeah, I think, look, firstly, it's good to see what the financial results of a company is. But there's like a few things that I reckon in your own personal financial results, you should also apply the same logic. So like we, for example, have specific metrics we look at. How's profitability been? How's our capital expenditure been, etc. I think it's good to once a year, at least as an individual, also do that temperature check. What am I spending my money on? Where are my expenses going? And as you guys know, I work in the capital space. I think a lot of people do budgeting. But one thing that we don't do is we don't check our own solvency. So we don't do stress tests on your own on your own finances.
True. Yes.
So you need to see like how's that emergency fund going? How's my wealth and my retirement planning going? And I think that's something from a personal point of view. If I look at a financial statement, I ask myself, how would I do this in my personal financial statement? And I reckon that's a good way to think about it. And also, like we also are an insurance business, so we think of lapse rates.
Yeah.
So make sure you're not lapsing on those savings budget as well. Like if you plan to save 1,000 Rand a month, make sure you don't lapse on that debit order.
Yeah.
And actually save. Yeah.
But I think it's hard. I being a young person who's coming into your career, some people might have other stresses in life that they need to take care of. So savings is not something we really look at. So for example, you look at what money's coming in and then you look at what money's coming out. But then you forget the savings, or you save and then a few months down or a few days down the line after payday, you go fetch the savings again.
Yeah.
So we need to also, I think it's important that we look at when we speak about saving, am I saving enough for me not to go back? Am I not saving too much that will stress my finances and put me in a position of I'm always going back to the funds that I wanted to save. So I'm not really saving. I'm saving for 5 days. After 5 days, I go back to the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the point you make, Theo. Just like a business has got a balance sheet and an income statement, each of us as individuals, we've got our own personal balance sheet and our own personal income statement. And the trick with the income statement part, that is our budgets, is that what goes out, what leaves, the expense part must be smaller than what comes in.
So
And
true.
the only way to engineer that is to take tomorrow's money off the table first. It's as if it wasn't there in the first place. You save, it's gone, and then for the rest, we have to make ends meet. That is the way to do it.
100%. And I think sometimes like doing your own financial statement is quite daunting to individuals. So, I mean, your financial advisor can generally help you with that. There are tools out there and tools in the pipeline that will help you with these type of things to do temperature checks on yourself. So like Isak says, you take responsibility of your own finances just as we do for the business.
Can someone help me? Because I'm stuck.
Yeah.
What's solvency? No, for real.
Good question.
What's solvency, Isak?
Solvency is your assets are more than your liabilities, then you're solvent. You know, so my assets, and again for a business like PPS, it's investment assets. Typically, most of it is in the investment market, so it's in equities and bonds and cash, but it can even be property and sometimes even intellectual capital. But the sum of that is more than what we owe. Then you're solvent. Now, for an individual, same story. You know, your assets can be investment assets, it can be your home, it can be even lifestyle assets. Although careful with that one, lifestyle assets are often more joy than assets. Some people say just write it off to zero, and you know, and that's it. But yeah, your assets must be more than what you owe, and what you owe is like debt, and you know, from credit card to mortgages, etc. So yeah.
Do you think, because a lot of the conversations I've been having lately have been about how it's like life is impossible lately. Even among graduate professionals, like it feels like, you know, you're getting your increases, you're having your salary, but you just can't quite make it, or you're struggling to make it. Like, is that a real thing, or are we just irresponsible as young people with how we
Sure.
manage? Legit!
The question was directed at me, but then go ahead.
No, but
Go ahead.
Like, oh no, you didn't.
We're definitely not irresponsible, to me, I think. And I'm jumping in this here. I'm not like Stevie CPU, but like it's directly, he's right in that directed to us as young people. And Simply, you're also a young person. Let me not take it. But in terms of the economy as well, you have to look at where the country is as an economy. So whenever you say that people are responsible, it's like you're putting a blanket approach to everything else that's happening. Going back to your first question in terms of why is it important for you to know what's happening in the financial status or financial results of a company, it's like you have to know that that very same company that is going to be issuing out there or releasing the financial statements also pay taxes. So that money also goes to the upliftment of the country, as well as then the budget speech, and then the money goes to, you know, those taxes actually go somewhere where they can be funneled. And as to how the country then builds the economy and gives people that opportunity to do that, then comes us, where, you know, you've got certain responsibilities, you've got debt, you've got other stuff. It's not a matter of being irresponsible, but in the day and age that we're living in, we have to be aware of circumstances that, but as just go to your point back again, Theo, have the right person, there's tools, good financial advice and the right tools. You've got that at your disposal. If you use the right tools, I think it makes you more responsible. But using the word irresponsible, no.
What do you think, Sipiwe?
No, I think when you're young and starting out, you've just got your first job, it's natural for you to have very little left over.
100.
Most of the time, you're actually in the red. So Isak's point comes to life, but it's difficult when you're starting out. But over time, if you get into that discipline of managing your spending, that it is not more than what you can afford, and what you can afford, he says, is what you get in less what is compulsory savings. So it's a discipline. And because we're humans, you know, we are naturally almost wired to consume as much as we can, as quickly as we can. That's naturally where we are inclined to be. So it takes some discipline to stand up within yourself and say, I'm not going to follow this natural urge. I'm going to discipline myself. I'm going to save. So it's something that doesn't come naturally. So you have to teach yourself that. So I think it's important that you don't be too hard on yourself at the beginning, but know that that's not the end state.
I like that word, discipline. I think that is what it is all about. But I think it's about habits, that is all you. So I hear you, maybe very hard, but still get into the right habit. I think you solve this not by earning more, by the way.
No.
It's not an attack game.
No.
It's a defense game, is what goes out. So just take, whether you earn 10K a month or 10,000 1,000K a month. Just take tomorrow's money off the table and say that is what I have, and that's it. Yeah.
I think that discipline starts with actually looking, because I think the human element is like you ignore.
Yes.
You open that banking app with one eye. You ignore that balance, and you try and not see the red. And I think that happens very easily because it's natural as a human to not want to, because it's a number that shows you your mistakes very clearly. But if you take responsibility and issue that discipline by just looking at it and acknowledging it, and not just reading those SMSs that you get when you do an EFT or buy something, you know what you did and you hold yourself responsible. That is actually what financial statements are on an individual level.
Yeah.
We just do that annually.
But when do you guys think personally it's a good time for me to review, or how frequent should I be reviewing my personal bank statement?
And adjusting.
And adjusting, yes. Do I do it monthly? Do I do it every year? When I maybe just before my increase, is that when I look at it, or at the end of the year?
Isaac was a financial planner in his day.
not just for financial advice, from an experience
That was
perspective.
long ago.
How do you guys tackle that
Yeah,
matter?
I think it's a good discipline just once a month to check what went out.
Yeah.
But I think a budget is probably something you should revisit at least once a year. Yeah.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
did we cover everything?
Did we cover everything?
I reckon we covered everything, eh? What do you guys think?
I don't know.
CP wants to find the details, the footnotes. But yeah, I think we covered everything.
I
for
think
this
we
one, yeah.
covered everything.